YouTubers! Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. Welcome to the channel of the man that knows nothing. The man that just sees how things come and go, and see it how it is, and follow the motions. And I'm seeing things aren't going good. Why? Well, I have a beautiful article to share with you guys that I received yesterday. I'm trying to be all poetic and cool, you know, but it doesn't work. But anyways, let me get to my point here. I got a really good article here. I got it yesterday. I'm going to read it tonight. Today's a Thursday. Today is the day before Donald Trump's inauguration. So it's the 19th. It's the day before Donald Trump's inauguration in the United States, and I'm going to be watching that. Real estate developers topped BC Liberals donor list in the past year. Go figure. Why not? 8 of the top 10 donors of the BC Liberal Party in 2016 and so far in 2017 are involved in the province's property development construction industries. Whoa, wow, what a surprise. Oh, I thought it was in the farming industry because it's so lucrative. I thought it was in the exporting industry because it's so goddamn lucrative. Let's continue here. Let's give it a chance. Combined, the 8 donors contributed nearly $1.5 million and $12.5 million collected by the Liberals during the period. An analysis of post-media news of the donor list released of the Liberals last week shows. Well, so thank you so much for being transparent. This transparency is good. Some of the real estate development and construction sector donations came in 6-figure installments. Property developers claimed some spots in the top 10 list between 2011 and 2015, along with natural resources companies such as Teck, Encana and West Fraser. But the contribution of the developers appears to be trending up, shows the analysis. Kind of like, renegotiate the laws as you go along in favor of the developers. I think that's what it looks like to me, right? The donations poured into the Liberal Party as home prices skyrocketed in Vancouver, which is significant of the public concern and is sure to be an election issue. The Liberals attempted to cool the market with the 15% tax on foreign buyers last August. The move was unpopular among the developers and construction firms. However, $214,000 was donated from those sectors by the 8 in the top 10 after the foreign buyers tax was introduced. The Liberals released the list voluntarily to dampen criticism over party financing, which has included large amounts of money from corporate donors and cash for access events. The Liberals have raised $32.5 million since the last election, the majority from corporate donations. That's like in the drop. That's a drop in a bucket compared to what Hillary had in her Clinton Foundation. This is almost nothing in comparison. But I'm not going off topic here because I'm not going to freak out. University of BC political science Max Cameron said, "There's a little doubt that money buys influence." Let me say that again, because University of political scientist Max Cameron said that there's little doubt that money buys influence. Comment below on that one. Cameron is in favor of banning corporate and union donations, putting up a cap at contributions, as is done federally in most provinces. I think they should start banning all this outside money and where it's coming from. They should actually trail back the money and find out where it's really the origins of where is this money coming from. Okay, it comes from a construction or a developer. Fine, track that back and follow the trail and see where it goes. I'd be up at night if I was taking these contributions. I'd have trouble sleeping at night. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever happened to voicing and being out for the people? Really, really winning the voters, and not getting campaign contributions. Whatever happened to standing on the street, a busy street corner with a megaphone, and talking and speaking and getting crowds to encircle you, and listen to your rants and what's going on and what you feel and what should be happening. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to that? I don't know. Anyways, I'm just dreaming right now. Post Media compiled a top 10 list consulting multiple contributions and consolidating those from donors who gave through several entities. Like I said, follow the money. Topping the list, Peter Wall, nephew of Bruno Wall, who gave a total of $400,000. Of that, $200,000 came from 2,300 Kingsway residences, while $100,000 each came from BGW Investments and PWO Investments, entities owned by the Walls, according to BC Corporate Registry documents. Peter Wall is most well known for the 48th floor One Wall Center in downtown Vancouver, completed in 2001. Peter Redkep gave $260,000, including some through Redkep Corridor Developments, while John Redkep Construction gave another $200,000, and the Anquilinilas owners of the Canucks involved property development gave $136,000. So people, these are not huge contributions. These are like the average contributions you'd get from, medium businesses, small businesses. It's not it still is donations. It is still support, right? In favor. I mean, what can you call it, right? Also, in the top 10, giving more than 100 large, were the Independent Contractors and Business Association, BC, kept holdings, owned by BD's and Involvement Property Development, RPMG Holdings, the parent company of ONI and property developer, the real estate developer Rick Illich. The property developers and construction firms did not respond to the request for comment on Post Media on Monday or Tuesday. Messages were left with the offices through emails. I mean, pick up the phone and call these people. Email. I get an email, I look at them. Rain Beatty, reached by email, declined the comment. Also, the top 10 list of the 2016 and 2017 of Teck Resources, Uprates, Coal and Metal, and BC companies gave $133,000. A lot of this stuff is like, to me seems pretty kosher. I mean, the title kind of threw me off. Teck declined to make an official available for a new interview. In a written response, spokesman Chris Sentinel and company supports. Government policies encourage job creation, sustainability development, and economic growth. The BC Liberals have urged they are being transparent by releasing donations, and the caps spending during the campaigns means citizens can have confidence in democracy. So, I'm kind of happy that they actually released this. Because trying to get this done, let's say in the States, or even in Australia, even New Zealand, I think you have to pull teeth to get this done. Like, to actually ask a party to be transparent like this. The donor list also released BC elections, but there is a lag. For the example of the political donor list for the parties in 2016 will not be released until this April. So we'll follow this and see where it goes. They raised $106.7 million between 2005 and 2015, compared to $42.4 million raised by the NDP. In a written statement, Liberal spokesperson Emile Schiffel said its supporters included a broad spectrum of individuals and businesses of all sizes. He noted that the Liberal government was investing in affordable rental housing, in addition bringing 15% foreign or orange tax. We believe that the British Columbians are all served by a system in which political parties are funded by individuals and others who share values and goals, Schiffel said in the email. The NDP have accused the Liberals of selling access to power, and we have called on Premier Christy Clark to ban the corporate and union donations. That's one thing that's been on the red flagging everywhere, is the corporate and union donations are raising red flags. I don't know, like it's got to be some sort of a cap that every Canadian, like not every Canadian, but let me say 40% or 30% of Canadians could reach. So it's fair across the board for any Canadian that wishes to run for office. Doesn't need $1 billion to run, because once it becomes money, it takes away from the person that has. But there's a lot of people that do have an extraordinary amount of potential that they could bring to the table. but they never get the chance because they can't afford it. They can't afford to play with the big boys. Vancouver, the individual donations, Christy Clark. Okay, Vancouver Point Grey NPD MLA David Eby said that it's no surprise to him that the real estate developers dominate the BC Liberal donor list in 2016. Sad but true. He said the Liberals were slow to recognize and move on a housing crisis as respond to rows beyond the regular people can afford it. It really explains everything to me. Simply that the interest in their donors were different than everyday families in Metro Vancouver. The Liberals have also criticized the NDP for an event where attendees would pay $10,000 to meet with leader John Horgan. Sorry. So, what do you guys think of this? I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I think the parties, the Canadian parties, it's really good that we have Conservative, we have NDP, we have Green, we have we have a lot of 3-4 parties here in Canada that could potentially swing in any way at any time, and I'm happy for that. I'm really happy for that. It reminds me of Portugal. They got 10 political parties, 10 parties, and it's really important that we have this 3-4-5 party system, because in the United States they got a 2-party system and it's pretty much the same thing. There's really no difference. I think they're all playing for the same power broker. They're all playing for the same boss. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anything, but what I do know is that a lot of contributions. If you got to look at the sector. If BC sector is housing, and our main contributor to our economy is housing and debt, personal debt, and student loans. There's quite a few things that actually build up BC's economy. If it's that, who else would donate that kind of money but the developers? I'm pretty sure if you go down to Silicon Valley area, I could bet you anything you want. You go down to Silicon Valley, the major contributors to their political system down there are all the techs. Google, Microsoft, Facebook, whatever. They're probably the biggest contributors to their political system. So it is what it is here. So the article's kind of condescending in a way, but in the reality sense of the back end of the spectrum, yeah, housing is horrible. Yeah, the average person can't afford to own anything, and there's real estate agents and people in the market saying owning in Vancouver is not for the typical Canadian. And when they say things like that, yes, that makes me mad. Because a typical Canadian should be able to afford a place if he works full-time and he works hard at what he does. Because that's what Canada was about for many years. You work hard, you get everything you want. You get your house, you get your, it's that story I told you. $20 in a bag. Immigrate to Canada with $20 in a duffel bag and build a family. Buy a house. Expand. Take vacations. Put 3 kids through university. All on one salary. That's how it was. But it's gotten to a point where we've been believed or misguided into believing that things are just expensive and we have to deal with it. And we've accustomed to allowing food prices to go up. We've been massaged and accustomed to let taxes keep going up. We've been accustomed and we've accepted that wages need to be this low. And that's why the voice isn't strong, it's not unified, and is it unfair? Of course it's unfair. But who made this and who did this? We did. In the end, the ball's in our court. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this topic. Comment below, I'll leave a link for the article. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Goodbye.